Tell me the story about the brewery. How did you end up there?
In the 90s, there was a cattle call for a sitcom.
Do you remember what it was called?
No.
Cattle call.
But I remember going there and waiting in line for about 7 hours.
Just chilling outside.
It was like one line.
Gross.
Right?
Sounds like Last Comic
And I remember
Standing.
going in there and being thrown like on a chair, saying one thing. I forgot what it was. And then I go. And I remember walking out of that building going, oh, I'm never going to make it.
You thought that was how it always
That's
was.
how it all worked.
Yeah.
Like this just 1 in a million, you know what I mean? Waiting in line for that long. It's like the Laugh Factory line.
The
on
open
Tuesdays.
mic line, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's around the corner.
People will wait there from 10 a.m.
I think it's open at noon or whatever.
Or noon until the show.
Oh, yeah.
And they might not get on.
Most don't.
Yeah, they're just getting their name into the bucket. I mean, how crazy is that?
That's awesome.
Did you ever do that?
Of course I did. What do you mean? I waited in every line. I waited at the factory.
I never waited at the Laugh Factory.
I waited at the store.
You did?
The Improv didn't have a line. They didn't have that thing.
They didn't have that thing.
I waited at the factory multiple times.
Yeah, and when you're waiting in kind of a line that long, and you're like, and you don't even get on, you're like, oh, this is almost impossible.
Me and my buddy Kinner Shaw drove to San Francisco for Last Comic Standing to sleep outside of Cobb's on the street.
To audition?
God, do you know how far this is now? I sold out 6 shows like 3 months in advance at Cobb's, and that's how far I've come. And thank you. That means a lot. That actually feels a lot in my heart. I slept on that street outside of Cobb's on fucking and I'm not kidding. We drove to San Francisco. I slept outside on the concrete in a fucking sleeping bag, only to almost not get to audition, go inside, tell a half a joke, and they were like, no, thank you.
Oof.
Oof.
Had to get right back in our car and drive down back from San Francisco.
Oof.
I remember that.
I slept outside of the Improv for Last Comic Standing, too. I slept outside of Fred Siegel on Melrose.
No.
Yeah, I slept on Melrose.
Oh, my God.
And I remember there was a young girl, there was a comic out there. You know who she is, I think. Tracy McDonald. Do you know who that is?
I know her, yeah.
Tracy was in line with us. And Tracy, I'll never forget, there was a moment where Tracy said, Canadian comic.
Yeah.
Tracy said, what if, this was so creepy. It had to have been 3 or 4 in the morning. She was in the camp next to
What a nice girl.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Tracy said, hey, what if one day, this is a 4 in the morning thought, what if one day we're not funny anymore?
Oof.
And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, what if we just stop being funny or thinking of funny stuff? I was like, that's impossible. What do you mean? Like, it's in your soul. You like humor. She's like, no. Because sometimes I feel like I might lose it and it'll never come back. And I was like, shut up. I went to lay down and my brain was like, what if? What if we can never write a funny joke ever again? What if I never think of anything funny again? What if I never say anything? What if I don't know what funny is anymore? It spun me out for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So thank you, Tracy McDonald. That
Thank you.
actually helped.
Thank you, Tracy.
No, but she was right though. She had this moment of clarity of like, man, what are we doing? We're sleeping on fucking Melrose?
Yeah.
Is this worth it? Do we want to do this? It was worth it. It was fun. I tried.
Here's, I think the difference, right, is that I honestly, I think that a lot of people can make it. You know what I mean? I don't care where you come from. You know, you don't even have to be like naturally funny. I just think that people can make it, but we can hit the ball when necessary.
When the time,
when the time is right. I just remember different moments in my life. It's like I remember thinking to myself, I have to hit this ball.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
I don't, because so and so's in the audience, and I have to fucking hit a home run here.
And you do.
And yeah, I was. So I'm gonna tell you, I can't say his name, but I remember there was a TV show that did stand up, and I had already done it a couple times. So the 3rd year they're like, "Can you do it again?" And I go, "You know what? I'll do it if you brought my friend on it."
You got to tell me the TV show. Like a Craig Kilborn or something?
No, I can't tell you because I don't want my friend. My friend will cry if I say the story.
Okay, I need to.
He's already crying.
We'll blank it out.
It was called Funny K Loco.
Oh, K Loco. Yeah,
it was called K Loco.
Yeah, I remember K Loco.
You know, on Telemundo or whatever.
Yeah.
But they go, well, who's your friend? I go, I don't care. You know what I mean? You're not gonna watch him. He's just gonna do it.
You're like, you're giving me a spot, and he has to get a spot.
One of my best friends gets a spot.
That's really nice,
right? And he used to do well on stage. Regular at the store. Okay. So I remember we're at the taping now. This is so fucking crazy. And I'm sitting next to Joey Diaz.
Hey, cocksucker.
Yeah, cocksucker, right? And so my friend's going up, right? And so, and he's super nervous, which is understandable.
Sure, it's TV.
Right? So I'm in the green room watching the monitor. I'm like, oh yeah, this finally, right? They bring him up and he comes up and he goes, Nothing comes out.
No.
Yeah, and then he does this. This is where I was like, uh-oh. He looks on the ground and he goes, and he starts mumbling.
No.
Yeah.
No, buddy.
He literally starts mumbling to himself.
Oh, fuck.
This is TV. There's cameras on, right? And then I remember he's like maybe a minute or two in, he starts getting the nerve to tell a joke. But at this point, he lost the room.
It's gone.
It's gone.
They were
and he
ready
starts
to.
really bombing,
Oh.
right? And I remember I had already gone up.
Oh, you already did great.
Yeah, I killed.
You're good.
Right? I killed, right?
Yeah.
I left him there.
You piece of shit.
Okay, not only did I leave him there, well, I was so embarrassed.
Would you get in the car and just go home?
Yeah, I go, fuck this guy.
No, you asshole.
I got in the car. So here's the two things.
No wonder why people from your past have just disappeared.
I was gonna say. That's one of these guys you never spoke to.
When you
Yeah.
go to bat for somebody. When you go to bat for somebody.
He had an off day.
huge, right? His first TV. But I'm going to give him a compliment. But this is okay. So I leave. So then Joey Diaz drove him home. But here's the sad part.
Joey Diaz on like
At-
500,000 milligrams. Like, I'll drive you, cocksucker.
Yeah.
Flip this fucking car.
So you do 5. They tape 5 or 6 shows in one night, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of each show, the booker gives you a check.
Mhm.
He waited at the end. He never got a check. So not only did not do well, he got edited out of the show, obviously.
Oh my
The guy
god.
got driven home, right?
Well, give him the money.
That's
at
a
least.
triple crown.
Right. But here's how he wins. When we got, I still was friends with him.
Bitcoin. He bought a bunch of Bitcoin in 92.
A year later, I was watching Comedy Central just randomly, and he had done Premium Blend,
What? That was huge.
Huge.
right?
Huge.
And he destroyed.
Oh, so he's fine.
He destroyed.
Is he still working today?
Yeah, he destroyed. But I just remember like him. Some people can't hit the ball the first time. Is my point of this.
But he got redemption, which is good.
He did. He always had it. He had the looks. He had the skill. It's just when the very first TV spot you do as a stand-up is petrifying.
That's the scariest thing in the world.
It's probably one of the scariest things in the world. Like I remember when I did Leno, I'd never been more scared.
Yep.
But I just remember walking out and looking at the thing and going, you have to kill.
You have to kill.
You have to kill.
Because Jay's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a little Chinese guy.
That's me on Leno.
Is that your first time?
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember how nervous I was to do Conan. It was probably
I
the
was
most
there.
So nervous I've ever been, man.
You were?
I was
Chase?
just because I loved Conan so
Yeah.
much, and it was a
Right.
big deal for me when they. And what's so funny is I submitted a year before, and the booker, who obviously not there, is gone now, who's become a friend, was like, I don't like the spot. I don't like the set. And I was like, fuck. And then called and was like, I saw you do a spot. Do that 5. I was like, oh, really? It's like, yeah, do that 5. Fuck, do that. The other one don't submit. Do this. Just take out the 2 cuss parts that have swear.
Yeah.
That was it. But then when I got there, I was fucking so nervous.
It's a good set.
It's
It's
just
a
hard.
very
It's such a
good
hard thing
I'll
to. I
never
think
forget that.
people just get
We were
so
dying laughing on the way
Yeah.
to that.
people get so fucking judgy about it. But you're like, it's the stress of that is so weird because it's live.
Like I can
TV.
see it kind of in your eyes. I know you.
Yeah.
There's something in your eyes.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
So nervous.
You're fine. You can see all the stuff, but there's a focus in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That I can tell.
And that sweater was awful. It's like, what a terrible fucking choice. By the way, when I remember buying that sweater, scrounging the money together to buy that sweater, and it was out of my price range. It was probably like $125 sweater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember it was like $100 sweater, and I was like, this is insane that I'm buying this fucking sweater. And
Oh, God.
I thought when I put it on, you look great. And less than a month later, I was like, you look fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is a stupid
Yeah.
fucking... It's so... No matter what you wear on TV,
What was I wearing on my Tonight Show?
you look like a fucking idiot. You always look dumb on these tapings.
Yeah.
You think they look good. That actually looks kind of
That's
nice.
good.
Because
and
black is
pants.
safe. Black and green pants.
It's classic.
How old were you there, Bobby?
I was probably
52.
2002.
2002.
22 years ago today.
April 26, 2002.
Wow, just passed. 22 years ago.
Whoa.
He was 30. You were 30 years old?
Yeah. What people don't realize.
You were
too-
30, right? That's a 30-year-old man. It looks like a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
That looks like
Great.
a high school
Move
kid.
over, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a new
Yeah, yeah.
62-year-old in town.